What? Yes. This is Luca. Say hello. 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 This is Luca the dog. And I am Matt Glanville. I make games for fun. And today I'm working on a game called Switch and Shoot, which is a shmup, shoot 'em up, but it only uses one button. So I'm pretty new to streaming, so let me know if there's any problems and I'll see what I can do if I can fix them. I'm just going to get started and play the game. So I'm just going to turn down the volume a little bit on the game. Just a touch. So how's it looking? Because I'm getting a warning. I wonder if I'm trying to stream at too high a resolution, perhaps. I'm having to capture basically the whole monitor rather than just the Unity window, and the reason for that is I use a plugin called Uscript, and that just doesn't get picked up by my capturing software. So instead I've got to just record the whole screen. Unfortunately, I think that makes it a little bit slower, but we'll see how it goes, and let me know if it's too bad, and I'll drop down the resolution or the bitrate or something like that. Who knows? Okay, so I've been working on a new front end, which gives you these options here, and that ties into the existing one button scheme. So you just touch to cycle through, or tap rather, and then you press and hold to select an option. So I'm going to give a lot more feedback for that and explain it a lot more clearly, but that's how it works right now. So I'm just going to play the game a little bit and you can just see how it plays and then get into the swing of things. Definitely a lot easier with a mouse than it is with keys or on mobile devices. Although it's a little harder when I'm streaming because the frame rate is a lot lower. Oh man, this is really hard. What? Okay, so the general idea is you want to grab the yellow pickups. They boost your weapon up a level. If you miss them, then it drops back down again. Once you get to the top level of your weapons, then you go into hyperdrive mode, and that just basically takes you on to the next wave. The difficulty drops down a little bit and then ramps back up over time. There's a new guy there, I'll explain him in a sec. So the difficulty will drop back down and then slowly ramp up again. You also get a multiplier. So this in yellow here is your sector bonus. That's based on how far you got, which wave you got to, essentially. So the little blue guy that you saw, that's a new thing, which is going to be in the next build, and that will pop up every now and then, and if you manage to kill it, it will drop a shield. If you manage to grab the shield, then you've got that, and that will be active until you take a hit. So it's basically a free extra life that you can have sort of one more go if you die, but you have to manage to get the shield first. I think maybe it's a little too common, it's a little too kind of makes it a bit too easy, so I may just make it harder to get the shield, harder to hit him, harder to catch it, harder to, well, less frequently appearing as well. So one of the things I'm going to be working on today is trying to discourage this this kind of optimum strategy which has emerged, where basically you can kind of skirt around the top level weapon. Can I get him? Yeah, there we go, there's the shield. So I hit it and it's now flashing and then it's off. Basically, I'll try to show you. It's something that came up on the TIG forums. So if I get to a high level power up, it's quite easy to hold back the enemies, you know, as long as you've got them under control. And then what you can do is, instead of progressing on to the next wave, you can just kind of drop back down to the lower tier weapon before hitting the hyperdrive. So this is like the penultimate one before the laser. If I get the laser, well, okay, this will still work. So what, you can kind of hang around these powerful weapons, just absolutely mow down enemies, and then purposefully miss the next power up. So as long as I don't get that and stay here, enemies are still fairly easy to keep under control, and I can just keep racking up points. So it's kind of, oops, I forgot what I was doing. I just instinctively grabbed it. Yeah, so basically it makes it a little bit too easy to just get a really high score. You never have to kind of push forwards into the harder stages of the game, which is where it starts to get really challenging and fun, I think. So I really want to make it so you don't want to miss those power-ups, you don't want to have any incentive to drop back down on PS4. Not yet. So today I'm going to try and put something in which is going to fix that problem. Now what I'm thinking is, so you notice when you get the laser, these red walls appear, and the reason for that was to stop you just flipping it, because you can go off the sides of the screen like that. When you've got the laser, you can just take your finger off the button and just, you know, wipe across the screen repeatedly, and that just means there's no challenge whatsoever. So I put in these red walls just to kind of keep you within the confines of the screen. Now what I'm thinking of doing is making it so they don't disappear when you drop back down a tier of weapon. That way, if you do go down, you still got that hazard to deal with, and it's going to get harder. And maybe if you go up another level again, they get a little bit narrower, and again, so it's kind of squeezing you tighter and tighter into the middle of the screen. So now you see, if I drop back down, those red walls will disappear, and I can just go off the edges again, and it's quite easy. If they stay there, I'm thinking people are going to hopefully be dissuaded from trying to do that. Maybe it's a little bit of a hack. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to give it a go. I'm going to see how it feels. It's quite easy to make changes. I can just rip it back out if I feel like it's not working. Let's get the shield. I missed him. Yeah, he is quite tricky if you don't have the top level weapons. See if I can make it to. See if I can make it to the third sector. Not like that. I can't. Damn. quite hard to play when there's a dog on your arm. Maybe I should chip it with the dog for extra challenge mode. How's the frame rate and everything? Is it looking alright? And how's the audio levels? Ah, man. Alright, one more go. I'm not sure if this is actually in the existing build, but there's these strafing enemies now. Whoa! And they make it quite a bit more challenging. Come on! Oh man. Yeah, you're the only one responding right now, Stu. I've only got 4 people viewing. Okay, that's good. Alright, I'm gonna have one more go. Don't cock it up. That's good advice. Ah, dog's moving. Ah, dog's pulling my headphone cable. Come on. It's quite hard to get them back on. Ah, jeez. Get them back under control if they start dropping down into the bottom there. You kind of just have to wait it out. Ah, damn it. Unless you've got the shield, of course. Ah, there we go. Alright, I'm going to get this dog off the cable. Whoa! There we go. Oh. Alright, see you, Cass. The dog's had enough. Alright, so... so we're going to be looking at the laser walls. Oh man, my Twitter feed is going kind of crazy right now. Ah, thank you. Awesome. Well, we're down to 3, so it's working. Okay. Right, so what am I going to do? So I'm going to go into my game scene. Now I was kind of halfway, well, much more than halfway through implementing the new menu system, but I think that's going to be a little bit boring to stream, so I'm going to do the laser walls instead. Something that's a bit more gameplay orientated. So you can see how much of a hack my setup is. I might as well just be in the office with you guys then you can sit and watch over my shoulder. Right, I just got to remind myself how my setup works. So I've got my main camera object here. I've got these walls, which are just the big red bits there, and what I'm thinking is they'll probably just kind of slowly close in like this, although I may want them to be a little thinner. Here's the dog, he's asleep. He'll probably just run off in a second, and then I'll find some sick downstairs later. Right, so what I'm going to do, first of all I'm going to get the logic. So everything I am scripting in Uscript, which is my visual scripting plugin, which is pretty handy. It doesn't sound asleep. There's the dog outside. There's some dog over the road going crazy. Okay. Now, how the heck is this set up? Power? Okay, so I think on my power-ups, my power-up management is all done through my player control script. You can see what a mess all this is. Ugh, awful. Awful. So, the bit where I turn on the laser walls is here. What this is Uscript. It's a plugin you can get from the Unity Asset Store, and it basically lets you create all your own scripts just in a visual way by adding these nodes and then hooking them up to other things. And you can pull in all your other components and scripts as well. They will just get reflected into here. So everything integrates really nicely. Like I've got a camera shake one here, which is from the Think Squirrel camera shake plugin, and it just reflects all these actions right here. You can just add in that node, or you can, like, you know, give it all these parameters as well, and you can just feed variables into that and expose them. This is a very roundabout way for you guys to communicate with each other when you're in the same room. Okay, so at this point here, what is this? This is when you... alright, so this custom event gets fired when you miss a power-up. It comes into here and turns off the walls. I actually want to disable that so they don't turn off when you miss a power-up. They do still turn off when you hit the max level, or sorry, when you exceed the max level. So when it's greater than, we go up here, we do the mega shake for the hyperdrive and turn off the walls there. So I'm just gonna, that was just one really tiny change I made there, where I just disconnected the part where it turns off when you miss a power up. And just save that. Can take a little while to compile, and it's a little bit sluggish script sometimes, but I think it kind of makes up for it in the amount you can do without needing to know any code whatsoever. It's good to know. It's good to know. It's actually just me logged in on my tablet. You're getting echo. But I think it. That's weird. That's really strange. There shouldn't be any audio output at all. I've muted it. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if it keeps going after this. Hello. Test. Okay, so I'm going to try that. Yeah, I was joking. Okay, so hopefully when I hit the laser and then drop down now, the walls will stay there. How's the sound now? You should be getting no sound as my voice. Okay, so that worked, but I also forgot to disable the laser itself. Echoing my voice. Is it just like a constant thing, or is it just like a slight echo each time I talk? Okay, how about this? Whoa. Nope. Okay, sorry about this. Is that better? What can you hear now? you getting anything now? Are you getting any audio right now? Okay, cool. All right, that's good. Are you hearing system audio? Like, do you hear that ding? Did 3 dings. So that's all good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Alright, while that's compiling, I'm just going to do another tweet. Okay, so the little change I quickly made here was, I hope I got this right, that basically the laser object itself will turn on and off when you go up and down the tiers, but the walls will only turn off when you hit the hyperdrive. So when you drop down a tier, they won't. Let's see if that works. Ah, missed it. So turn on, alright. If I miss this. Yes, cool. So the walls have stayed on now. No shit. Oh, helps if I don't miss it again. Oh man, this frame rate makes it so difficult. Go get him, Quatch. Oh man. Just want to test it. If I hit the hyperdrive, it should just all clear correctly. Ah, helps if I actually get it. Alright, cool. Punished for doing well. Possibly. Possibly. Yeah, let's get that shield. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's kind of doing well. I don't know. I mean, you can't really. I guess I can't really say there's a right and wrong way to play it, but it's kind of doing well in a way that I don't want to be encouraging. Like I want doing well to be defined as progressing, getting the power-ups, getting to the next sector, clearing out all the enemies along the way, rather than sort of playing it safe. So I guess if guess I want to kind of be putting the squeeze on you if you're trying to play it safe, and trying to force you out of that corner that you back yourself into. Not sure. I mean, another alternative is that I just bump up the multiplier that you get for completing the sector, but I worry that there may still be the same problem where you don't really need to push through the next sector, you just need to get to it. So you can kind of hang around on the high tier weapons on the first sector, rack up a load of kills, and then just push ahead onto the next one and just get that multiplier. And then it doesn't really matter if you die quite early because you've already just racked up loads of points. Yeah, I mean it is a little because there's the multiplier, but I guess my worry is that if I boost that up too much, then you're just going to get ridiculous scores. They're going to get multiplied so high that they don't really seem to reflect your actual performance anymore. That's just some crazy high number that's really detached from your number of kills. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to make the walls close in a little bit. And just see how that plays. So that's effectively what's going to happen. You're going to start getting pushed in the middle and then you've got no more room. But it's not going to get that bad. It's going to go to about, let's say down to about half. But a piece at a time, so like maybe there, then there, and then there. So I'm going to reduce it by 10% each time. Okay. Could be based. The score could be based on the distance. It would mean that I think it would take the emphasis off of killing the enemies a bit. Well, quite a lot. I mean, unless maybe it's a combination of the two. Like you could just kind of sit there and just dodge them, but maybe that's a skill in itself. Anyway, I'm going to try the walls first, just because I've started down that path, and I'm going to just see how it goes. Um, This is getting super messy. I have the week off. Yeah, I got to October and realised I had a load of holiday to use up before the end of the month. So I've just used it all in one go pretty much, and I'm going to work on this and see if I can get feature complete by this time next week. Be at alpha and then kind of push the game around and get some proper feedback and responses for it. Okay, so I'm doing that thing where I'm just zooming around the node graph and not actually doing anything. So what I want to do is scale the walls object on the X axis. And so first of all, I want to get the scale. So I'm looking at the walls. The transform properties. Cool. Yeah, thank you. I may need some help with that. The save stuff is something I haven't looked at all yet. It's kind of something I've been putting off to the end because I know it's not really going to impact the design so much. It's just going to be a big technical hurdle that I have to overcome. So yeah, I'm kind of holding that off pretty much to the end. October challenge. Huh. Cool, I'll have a look at that. Hi Jason. I have not used Playmaker. I gather it's quite similar to Uscript, but no, I've not used it at all actually. I went with Uscript because it's a lot closer to Kismet from Unreal, which I'd already used a little bit. I think Playmaker's a little different, but I'm not sure in what way. But I know it's quite popular. So yeah, it was actually Uscript was actually developed by a load of people who had worked on Kismet, who had actually developed Kismet. So they brought like tons of that same kind of design over. There's a few things that aren't quite as nice. Like in Kismet you could do the remote events where you could just fire off an event and it would pick it up elsewhere, and that was just a really simple little concise thing, whereas in Uscript you have to, it attaches the event name as a string here, and then you have to compare that string to what you actually want to be, to the name of the event you want to be looking for. So I mean, it's not a massive bit of hassle, but it's like just this extra couple of nodes here and an extra check that you have to do rather than just having it work under the hood, and it can just get a little tedious to kind of have to drop those in all the time, and it took me a long time to realize that that's how it was working. I had all these custom events hooked up, and basically whenever you fire a custom event anywhere, all of them get triggered everywhere. You have to then put in this as a filter to only let the ones that you want pass through, and I was just like, why are they all triggering when I only want to trigger this one? So I had some like really terrible workarounds for ages until I finally realized that you just had to compare the string. But I mean, comparing strings isn't particularly cheap, so it's not massive in the long term, but in the grand scheme of things, but it's, you know, you got to try and keep it to a minimum. Yeah, it is. Right, so let me think. Oh, no worries, sorry, couldn't be more use there. Are you thinking of using Playmaker then, or are you already using it? I'm just going to pull this out so I can see what I'm doing first. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I've managed to make a lot of cool stuff with it. Well, I mean, it's made it easy to make stuff. Yeah, I think it's still in beta, so you can get it at half price. It's not super cheap, but for the amount I've used it, I think it's quite reasonable. Yeah, that I've actually been thinking that. I think it's probably time for me to move on to C# actually. Yeah. I think I'm going to get this project out of the way, and then I'm going to maybe do another small one and see if I can get that going in C#. Where am I? Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. This is something which is probably way more efficient in actual proper code. I'm having to basically get the scale of my object that contains the walls, dump that into a vector3 here. Then from that I'm having to get the components. I can grab the x, y and z into 3 different floats. I'm only going to grab the x because that's the only axis I want to scale. And then from there I'm going to multiply that. Multiply the float. So I'm going to multiply that times 0.9. Put it back into that variable. Then I'm going to dump that back into the x. The y and the z I'm going to keep at 1. That's then going to go into the scale value, sorry, the local scale property of the wall object. Now I've actually just seen I can multiply a vector3 with a float So maybe that's a better option. In fact, what am I talking about? I can just multiply the vector 3. Yeah, I don't need to do any of that. I can do that. Then you can just punch the number straight in here, but I'm going to put it into its own variable, and then I can expose that and I can just easily tune it. The wall scale reduction 0.911. So that's basically going to be doing the same thing, but just in one node. And then I'll make that public, and that'll just expose it in the inspector. Then the result is going to dump that back into the actual local scale property of the object. Now, I also want another one when I go back up. Yeah, it's useful to know, I think, like, I mean, it's sort of a big daunting thing, but the more you can do yourself, the better, I think, because you can just get those ideas down and working so much quicker. So that's going to go back into there. Wait, what am I doing? That's not part of the sequence, this is for something else. This is when I'll reset the walls back to the original width when you go to the next stage. So in that case I'm just going to hard code that to be 111. Now, this part, I haven't tidied this up in a long time. This is getting really messy. This is my player control graph. So as you can see, it's quite a mess. This part down here handles all the input. And it's pretty nasty. This is a load of stuff that gets fired the first time you press the button, just kills all the text and all that. This is a load of demo mode stuff which is only used on the front end where you've got the ship going back and forth and just firing off shots. What's this? This is for the edge wrap, so it checks when you go off the side of the screen and bumps you back to the middle. That's a load of initialization stuff, and then all this up here is the power up stuff. So I'm thinking I could probably dump all the power up things into another script, but I haven't. And I'm not going to do it right now because it's really laggy. Okay. So what I'm going to do, instead of, I mean, it's usually good to tile these into a sequence because then you know things are getting fired in the right order, but what I'm going to do right now is just hook them all in alongside each other. So I'm going to have a couple of paths coming out of the same output here. That's just while I'm testing it, and then what I like to do is just make sure it works, and then I'll go back and kind of tidy it up a little bit and put them all into a nice tidy sequence. So what this is doing is every time you increase your bullet level, when it recognizes that it's equal to the maximum level, which is the value for the laser, that's going to fire out here, and it's going to scale the walls down. Now what that's actually going to do is trigger the first time. So the very first time you get the laser, they're going to be scaled down once, but I'm just going to try it and just see how it plays first, and then I'll go back and put in an extra step to make it only start happening after you've done it once. And then the point where we turn the walls back off, that's where I want to reset their scale. I'm actually going to do it before I turn them off, just in case it has any issues trying to do it with a disabled object. Alright, let's try that. How's the dog? He's acting like he's asleep, but his eyes wide open. He's not asleep. Hi? Hello? Are you showing off your best side? Okay, so now, whoa, okay, we have a crash. Although, no, I think I actually just hit close. The position of my buttons is slightly different because I've had to disable the arrow, Windows 7 arrow theme, because it slows down streaming. So I think I just hit close Unity instead of close Uscript. Oh, let me just quickly show you. So I expose that value, and that's now right here. And I can just tweak that and it will feed back into Uscript. Alright, let's give this a go and see if it makes it ridiculously difficult and see if it's a nasty way to resolve this issue. Whoa. Okay, yeah, so let's scale them down a little. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's just second nature now. See a power up, I gotta get it. It's gonna be harder to test on second sector. Well, the flashing is quite distracting. Also, I'm not sure it's actually reducing the scale as much as it is just setting the scale. Let's check. Camera, walls. Oh no, it's brought them down to 0.8 there. So it is making them close in a little each time. It's really hard to tell if it's how much harder it's actually making it when I'm when I'm streaming with this horrible frame rate. Because I'm so used to it running at, you know, I think it runs at 60 frames a second, and I'm so used to that it just dropping down really throws me off, gets me out of the rhythm of it. So it's hard to tell like if it's actually making what kind of difference it's making. What am I doing? Oh, you weren't here at the start, right? So basically, hold on. Let me just try this out, and then I'll explain it properly, because trying to do two things at once is not easy with this game. Ah, missed it again. Right. So basically, someone on the TIG forums pointed out that there's an optimum strategy where you can go up to the high tier weapons. You can go right to the laser, and then purposefully miss the next power up. So you drop back down to the big triple shot, and then get the laser again, and then drop down again, and get the laser again, and drop down. And just keep repeating that, and it's really easy just to rack up tons of kills while keeping the difficulty quite low and keeping the enemies under control. And it was kind of a way of getting a really high score that was a lot easier than just progressing on to the next sector. So what I'm trying to do is experiment with a way of discouraging that kind of behavior, and I'm thinking having these walls closing in might be a way to do that. I'm not 100% convinced it's the right solution, because well, for a start, I mean, the walls only come in when you get the laser, so you still got the same problem as long as you just stick a tier below the laser. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure how to solve this problem. Another way, another solution might be to scale up the multiplier. So when you do go to the next sector, you get more of a bonus. Closer to the top. Possibly. Possibly. Wondering if maybe each time you get a power up, you creep forwards a little bit. You creep up the screen a little bit. I'm not sure. Start them on 1.1, and then that should just give them the right kind of width when they get reduced. And then I won't have to put in any extra hack. Actually, I'm also just going to try turning off the flash on the walls, because that's really distracting. That's just a component I've written here. Just going to turn that off for now. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I have to run from the start, otherwise a bunch of things don't get initialized properly. Okay, let's try this now. Helps if I actually hit them. Helps if I don't die as well. I think that actually looks okay without the flash, because the screen shake gives it a little bit of a wobble. You definitely get the sense of them closing in a lot more if they don't flash as well. Yeah, I think I like this. Ah, damn it! Maybe they even need to reduce a little more. Let's try it. Let's have them really squeeze you down. Let's see. Let's try 0.8. And how's that going to look? Times 0.8. So I start at 1.25. By the way, this is a really handy thing you can do in Unity. You can just enter equations into the transform values here, so I'm going to do 1.25 times 0.8 and it gives you the result. That looks, okay, yeah, of course there's 1. Okay, that's perfect. Actually, let's just see how they look on the next step. Times 0.8. Maybe there. Then it'll be there. Maybe there. Yeah, let's go with that. What's that? Ah. Every time I just forget what I'm doing and I'm just like, yeah, play the game. Get the power-ups, get the scores. So I'm kind of liking the walls because I like this idea that you've just got tons of things working against you, and the first time you see them, it's just like, what the hell? Like, how was I supposed to see that coming? But then you sort of remember it, and then the next time you're prepared for it. And they've always got a consistent behaviour, so you're not ever really being cheated. But you are aware that there's these horrible pressures that are being put upon you. Okay, so that seems a lot more noticeable. Although maybe 0.85 maybe I'll go halfway between those values. So I guess that's one argument against tying it into the score. Like, the score is just this kind of it's just a kind of measure of your performance at the end, and I don't necessarily want you to be thinking about that while you're playing. I want you to be thinking about just surviving and dodging hazards, killing the aliens. Ah, dear. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of makeshift equipment involved here. Dispensable equipment and dispensable crew. Oh, man. Why do I always do that? Every time. Oh, this is the shield, by the way. You probably haven't seen that before. So it's a new thing. Okay. Oh, I didn't? Unless it didn't reset it. Let's try that again. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to fail once. Oh man. Then get to sector 2. Jeez. Oh man. so hard. Ah! I know what that'll be. It's because when I reset it, I set it back to 111, but it's now 1.2511. Yes, there will be. Yeah, the enemy values, the enemy spawn position doesn't ever change at the moment, so I'm gonna have to crunch that down relative to the position of the walls. Let's see. So when I set that back, wall scale default 1.2511. Possibly. Possibly. I think I'm reluctant to do it because I didn't really want the multiplier there in the first place. I really like the idea of your score just being a pure value of how many you killed. I don't know, maybe if this way works then I can take it out anyway. Oh man, my link I posted on Twitter is to my dashboard, which I'm guessing no one else can see. Let me correct that. So where was I? Yeah, let me give it another go. I'm really not sure about this. power-ups will be spawning inside the walls as well at the minute, as they get narrower.
Oh man. Definitely squeezes you in. I mean, that's considerably harder. So I don't think it's an optimum strategy anymore, but I mean it's still got the issue that if you can skirt just below the laser. Oh man. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the red walls or not? I prefer that kind of more organic in-game way of doing things. Like, here's like a tangible effect it has on how you play the game, rather than like a kind of numerical, thing that happens at the end that's kind of invisible and under the hood. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Let's have a look at doing that. How easy that becomes. So I purposefully missed that one, and I can just stick with these weapons, which is still pretty good. I mean, I should note also, like, there is... Oops! There is the buffer of every 10 enemies you kill, they start spawning a lot more frequently, a little more frequently. So you can't just kind of carry on forever. It does eventually get to a point where it's going to be too difficult. Oops. Whoa. Oh no, drop right back down now. Hi. Well, I have played it quite a lot. The fastest spawn rate, no, it doesn't. So when you go to the next sector, it drops back down. In fact, I can show you exactly how that works. If I can remember what these values do. So let's see. There's a hard minimum value between enemy spawns, which is 0.15 seconds. There is... Okay, so every time you get to the next sector, the enemy frequency is multiplied to 0.825. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I definitely don't think it's worth it from Sector 2 onwards. Got a little spider on the ceiling. Mainly for the first one. So, What are you thinking then? That it's not even worth putting in the walls and trying to discourage this kind of stuff? So you're thinking like the fact that it resets, well, the fact that the speed drops back down is kind of an incentive to go to the next sector. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's a good point. It's a good point. yeah, they're pretty messy. For a long time I kept it really tidy, and I've kind of hit the point now where it's getting so big and I'm kind of so close to it being done that I feel like there's almost no point tidying it up, which is not true. There's always useful to keep it tidy. What I'm doing just here is I'm doing a little tweak to the way the walls flash. So I still want them to flash when they appear, so you get a bit more of a warning. I just don't want it to be permanent. This takes so much longer to compile. It's true. Ah, wow. Nearly close Unity again there. I'm not sure why it keeps closing Uscript like that. There's the dog. No, this frame rate is awful. So when the laser walls appear, they should flash 3 times now, and then just stay on. But I've kind of changed the way it works. So let's see if it does actually trigger. Okay, no, they just stay off. Okay. What I wanted to do is add a little bit more of a visual warning when the walls are about to appear. Oh, is this just something done like it will, if I leave it on an even number, it will go through that many iterations? It'll go through that many flashes and then stay in the other state, stay enabled instead of disabled. Hey buddy.
that needs to change. Although, is that even the best way to do it? Ah, man. Right, this is just getting crazy, and I don't think I'm gonna pursue that right now. The warning for the laser walls, I think I'm gonna save that for another time. Did that mess up just now? I don't think it should do. I don't have to have Twitch open, do I? Right, let's just turn that off again. Okay, I'm gonna mull this over for a bit, and in the meantime, I think I'm gonna do a little more work on the front end. But first of all, I think I'm gonna take a really quick break, get another drink, and then I'm gonna come back and walk through some of the front end changes and the menu stuff I've been doing over the last week or so, and kind of tidy that up a little bit and just get that how I want it to work, and then I'll be ready to make a build and you guys can try this out if you like for free. Okay, I'm going to leave it streaming and I'm just going to run out and I'll come back and we'll see whether the dog follows me, because he usually follows me everywhere. I'll be back. What are you doing? Luca. Yep, I knew it. I knew he'd follow me. So he's gonna come and get right up in your face now. You coming up? Hey. Hello. Hiya. Ah. His name is Luca. He's pretty cool. But he's also kind of gross. Ugh. Oh, oh, no. Luca, who's that? Who's that there? It's you. It's you. Okay. That's it. That's it. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can do a close-up. I've got a delay on this, so I can't quite see. Oh wait, yes I can. I've got my own little one here. Here he is. Hello. Luca. Luca. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Go on. He's just playing it cool. He knows that he's being streamed live to 5 whole people. Okay. No worries. Okay, so let me get these headphones back on so you don't get too much feedback, and just hope the dog doesn't strangle himself. Right, so what I've been doing on the front end is a bunch of kind of menu icon stuff. And just mute that for a second. I'm trying to kind of keep it in the one button scheme, which is providing an interesting challenge. So it's not been that hard to implement. The current setup I've got is like you just press the button once and you can cycle through the options, and then you press and hold and it triggers it. It's kind of simple, but it requires a little bit of explanation for the player to know how to do it. So long, Fring. Yeah, quite. So I guess the thing I'm kind of wondering right now is like, is it worth it for the sake of it? You know, it's basically a joke. Like, it's a one-button game. You do everything with one button, not just play the game. You use the menus with one button too. Is it worth making it like awkward and relying on an explanation just for the sake of that kind of stupid joke? I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna basically just get this build out there and see how people feel about it. The very main menu here still needs some work, but I've actually done a little more work on the options menus with some new music, so let me get that on. Brand new music, which is also by Mobby Sound, whose music's on the Unity Asset Store, and it's really cool. Possibly I couldn't think of a way of not making it prone to just messing up.
or taking ages to do the thing you want to do. So I don't know, maybe. I'll see how feedback goes on this, but I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think it's pretty funny, but I can see it going wrong a lot more easily. Okay, so basically on here, again, you just touch to go through them, and then you can press and hold to toggle the settings like that. Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, it's not like a really forgiving game, is it? So you've got volume options. There's also, the jukebox doesn't really do much right now because there's only one gameplay track. But you're going to be able to basically just turn off the music. You're going to be able to have it shuffled on a few different tracks, which will just be picked randomly between as you're playing the game, or you'll be able to lock it to like your favorite track, basically. Turning it off will also roll out to all the options menus in the main menu. The helper is the little bar which flashes up at the bottom, and I put that in mainly for mobile, so for Android devices, and the reason was I was just finding it a lot more difficult to tell when you were actually making contact with the screen. It's a lot more ambiguous than it is with a mouse button or a keyboard key, and when it's really down to that kind of fine-grained responsiveness like it is in this game, I was just finding it was making it too difficult. So the helper basically just flashes on and off when you're touching and untouching the screen, just for a bit of visual feedback, and it also gives you a little bit of information of whether you're going to be moving left or right. And then full screen's self-explanatory. Let's put that back on. The other menu I've got in here is the bonus one, which is going to be basically like a bunch of extra stuff. So you're going to be able to see all your stats, so like how many enemies you killed, or like what's your best streak, all that sort of stuff. Credits is quite obvious. And then these two are going to be sort of, I guess, like fun, silly, tertiary stuff. So Hall of Fallen Heroes is going to give you a full list of all the random names you've been assigned while you've been playing. And the letter of enrollment is going to be basically like a kind of a backstory, which is going to be censored, and you can unlock it through killing enemies. But what I'm thinking for both of those is to have them part of a kind of upgraded version of the game, which is mainly going to be an issue for mobile. I'm thinking of doing a free version which will be limited in content, and then a paid version for like maybe £1 or £2, which will have all these options unlocked and give you choices for your ship graphics and all that kind of stuff. But on PC that's probably just going to all be bundled in just a one straight up flat rate price. So that option won't be there on PC. I'm going to leave it in for now, but just for like the kind of dev builds, but in the final version that probably won't be there. Or maybe it will. The other thing I'm thinking is that I'll do the same kind of thing, like have a free version and then DLC which will unlock all that stuff. I don't know. I'm going to kind of gauge response and see what people think of that. I'm sure it could go either way. So what I want to do now is get this, get that bar that fills up and gives you press and hold feedback. I want to implement that onto the front end on these options right here, and you will see how much of a hack my work is and how simple it is. while I do that, I'm going to eat this Haribo. And Luke is going to try and eat some too, but he's not going to succeed. No. You can't have any, you're a dog. It probably contains a dog. Actually, it was a present from my girlfriend. No, wait, that's not true. It was... I bought a big pack to give to the indie developers at EGX, and I had some left over, so now I'm finishing them off. And they're really good. Do you get free Haribo with ordering t-shirts then? I hope my chewing isn't too loud. Right, so oh. Okay, I have ordered from QWERTY in the past, but not this time. I actually just bought some mega packs of Haribo. Alright, I'm going to drop in a fresh prefab, because that's always the best way to do it. Now, basically, oh man, he's laying on the cable. Alright, you're alright, you can lay down. Okay. So basically what I do with this is I've just got little boxes and I just change the colour of them. Oh, that does suck. Yeah, I don't think they're particularly vegetarian or vegan friendly. So that needs to go in there. Oh man, I can't remember how I do this. Oh, that's right. So this took me a while to work out, but in Unity 5, your hierarchy is sorted by transform order, which is just like a kind of arbitrary game object ID, whereas in Unity 4 and before that, they were sorted alphabetically. So I've actually got a little editor extension which, oh no, I did have an editor extension. It's now, I think, part of, yeah, it's just part of your general options here, enable alphanumeric sorting. That lets you drop this down and switch between alphabetic and transform sort. Now the reason for that, the reason I have to switch back is because the canvas render order is based on the it's based on the transform order, which I did not realize at first. I was like, why is this rendering behind it? Whereas
you know, normally with sprites you have like a render order or a sorting order option, and it lets you put things onto layers, but you don't have that with the canvas. It's all done just automatically. And the canvas being the thing that's used for all your UI. Now I'm going to have to look into my options menu to remind myself how I did this. Let's see. Right, so basically I've got a black box, which is just that background bit for each one. Then I've got the image, which is like the grey outline, which is when you're hovering over it, which is another box rendered behind it but slightly larger. And then I've got another one which is the white fill. Why is that not rendering? It's not rendering for some reason. Well, let's just try it in here anyway. Scale set to 0, which is kind of weird. Now, this should just work. Because my buttons just use the same system. Yeah, okay, it does. Cool. It crashed because I don't have the start initialized. I need to go to the start scene where I load in all my app data. Okay, so kind of works, but it's being rendered in the wrong place. So I actually want a black box in front of that, so it just looks like it's going around the edges. So I'm sure there is a better way to do this, but I'm not going to do it that way. I always do it the quick and dirty way and it works, and maybe next time I'll learn the more efficient way to do it. But right now I just want to get this game done and out. I'm much more interested in the results than I am about honing my skills right now. I learn little bits along the way, get faster. But the main goal for this project was just to release a game. So black VG. Those equations in there, so just calculates the right width for you. I'll remove the animator from there, set that to black. Let's try that. Okay, so that looks right, although I'm not sure the borders need to flash black like that as they disappear, so I can just take that out. That's just kind of left over from the other menu where they're invisible. So on the options screen, come back to that. On the options screen, they're just black when they're not selected. So you've only got one box visible at a time, and that's because you can see all the options on screen at once. Whereas, oh hi Nick. On this screen you can only see one at a time, so I think the border can just stay grey. Otherwise you just get this weird blinking. Oh man, Luca's just tucking himself into my neck. Cool, so that's filling up right. It's a little too tall at the moment, it doesn't actually match. How's it going, Nick? Hold fill. So I just want the height of that to match the height of the full size, the main border. It just renders the white fill effect over the top of it. Hello. Oh, thanks for dropping in. Can you say what you're working on? Ah, okay. Oh. Yeah, it's the curse of working in game development, Jameson. What's ArchViz?
him at the camera. I'm not going to lift him because he's really heavy, but I'll give you a close-up again. He's just resting on my arm, look. Looking very unenthusiastic. Super sleepy. He was a bit poorly earlier, but luckily he timed it just before I started streaming, so I had a chance to clean it. He was sick all over the sofa. He looks traumatized. Oh, that sounds cool. Nick, can you say about what your connection is with this game? About the recent thing? Are you allowed to talk about that? Yeah, that was actually the thing that spurred me to start working on it again, actually. Because I'd sort of shelved it for quite a long time. Yeah. I initially started working on this before Christmas last year. And then I just kind of stopped. Like, it was just a fun little short project. And then Nick asked me to asked me if I had a game that you could use at the event. It was like a kind of private party, a one-button game, and I was like, yeah, I've got this one, and polished it up a bit, and then it's just kind of carried on going from there, which is pretty cool because I'm really happy with it now. So thanks for spurring that on. What's going on here? There we go. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad they liked it. That's always good. Always makes it worth it. No problem. Oh man, he's smelling. He's starting to smell. You've done some weird smelling stuff. That's cool. Was that on the newest build, or was that on the one that you had at the event? No, I didn't actually. Crossy Road people. No. I will have a look for that though. across your GDC talk. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll have a look. Thanks. Okay, yep, catch you later, Nick. I'm probably going to stop streaming in like half an hour because I'm going out for dinner. But thanks for dropping in. And I'll probably do it again in the week because I'm off all week. Oh wow. Yeah, didn't they make a lot of money on ad revenue? Is that right? I'm just going to show you some of my my Trello stuff here. Bye. So I use Trello for my task management. I find it really easy just to organize my thoughts and my plan. And this is completely public. In fact, I'm gonna share the link in the chat right now. There you go. Oh wow, that's pretty crazy. Huh. Yeah, I've been considering ads. I mean, they're horrible and make a game feel horrible, but yeah, maybe for the free version, and then just have like a kind of pay to remove ads on mobile at least. I don't think that would fly on PC so well. So my Trello here, I've got basically like a little item for every task I want to do. All these two columns here are ones I've already done and are already in available builds. These are ones that I have done but haven't shipped yet. These are ones I'm working on right now. These are ones I plan to do before I release the next build, and these are ones I'm going to do in the future. All the ones that are marked with the blue bar are for alpha. So that should get me to feature complete, which I hope to do by this time next week. So what I'm working on right now is the menu buttons. What I've just done is visual feedback on hold for the large buttons. I want to hook in some audio, so you just get the little press and release sounds. I need to filter out some of the options on mobile. I'm going to have the Admiral, so that's the guy, the little face that talks to you. I'm going to have him kind of comment on the one you've got currently selected, and he's going to just explain it to you. I'm going to have him, eventually he's going to be sort of chattering away and telling you stupid stuff the whole time you're playing the game. Right. So it's kind of tricky here because like this stuff requires a lot of quick tweaking, and I'm actually finding that while I'm streaming my frame rate's quite low, and it's a little bit awkward to do that, but I'll give it a go. I'll do my best. I'm probably going to stream for like another half an hour at the most, because as I said, I'm out for dinner. But it's been cool. Yep, building is the worst. Right, so
What's my next one? What's my next one? Visual feedback for press and release. So what I want to happen is, let's go into the options menu so I can demonstrate this a lot more easily. Okay. Well, I'm not doing anything really exciting right now, it's just menu stuff. So what I want to happen is when you actually press, actually, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I think that's just going to cause too much flashing. What I was thinking was that when you press and release, it would blink white as just a bit of visual feedback, but I think it actually works fine how it is, just cycling through like that, and then just turning white when you're holding it. I think that's clear enough. That was London. The shower that drained away slowly. Yeah, that was when we went to London for Oddworld New and Tasty live stream events. Yeah, Manchester we had the nice shower. It was a really nice, like, space age shower. And London was like in someone's attic. It was not good. By the end of the shower you were in like 6 inches of dirty water. Yeah, don't go to London, all the showers are bad. All the showers I've used in London are bad. One of the showers I used in London is bad. Alright, I'm gonna get the title screen. Right now it's a hack. You load it up and oh man, you know what, streaming is actually really bad for productivity. I'm just getting distracted constantly. When you load it up, it just briefly shows you a high score and then it comes straight into this. I want to actually keep the press to start in there like it used to be, and then have the high score disappear then. And I'll probably hide all the version number in the credits as well. No, it's not your fault, it's my fault. I'm just too easily distracted. Yeah, so it will come up like this at first. When it loads, okay, so come in, just step through quickly. Oh, I forgive you for it being my fault. So we'll have this, we'll show you a high score there. And then it will say press to start, and when you press it, that's when these will come in and you'll get just the standard kind of front end interface. But it should be pretty easy to do. What I basically just want to do is remove this so that it doesn't delete area element. What? It's a weird little quirk. So right now
should only turn on the high score. Oh, it's probably not turning on the high score because I don't have the app initialized, because I'm just going straight into the title scene. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, that gets toggled off again. Right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go title swipes in. When that's finished, high score appears and press to start appears. Then when you press at that point, those two disappear and the buttons swipe in, and then you're there. And we're going to do that really easily. I don't think I've actually got something that toggles game objects when you press a button. Which is quite a simple thing, so let's get that in now. I've actually just hacked the restart. There's like a restart button which was in the game, and I just hacked that into the front end as well, so it was like restart just became start. Okay, so I'm going to save this out as a new UScript graph. And I'm going to call that something really creative, like press to, oh no, toggle on press. And I'm not going to assign it to the master. And what this is going to do is just check when you press a button or touch the screen on mobile, and then just toggle a game object, and then probably kill itself in the nice technical way, not the nasty way. Now, before I do that, I'm gonna actually attach it here. Oh wait, I haven't compiled it yet. Delete all that because that's all to do with reloading the level. That checks, that gets the camera and sets the background color. So all we really want is this input stuff. Don't need any of that press and hold. Don't need load level. Don't need that stopwatch. Okay, I'm just going to go toggle, oops, and then just expose a list of game objects. These are the things that are going to get toggled, and I'll just leave that blank and expose it in the inspector, and then I can just reuse it on whatever I want. So that'll be objects to toggle. Make public, yes. think I want to have this on. Ah. No. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to do any of this. I want to feed this into my existing button system. Yes. That was really dumb of me. What I've done is I've created like a kind of generic button system here, which is used for my front end objects, and then I can just attach components that say when it's pressed do this and when it's held do this, and that'll just feed into all of that, and I can use all the color highlighting and everything. Okay, right. Button output. Right, let's get rid of those before I forget. Use skip project files. Toggle on press, delete. Toggle on press, delete. Let's hope I didn't mess anything up. Let's hide my Trello. Oh man. It's like the old Solitaire on Windows 95. I don't really bug it out. Okay. So this is like one of my output systems, and it just checks on whether it should be triggered on press or hold, just so I can fire them all into the same system. The presses and the holds. Okay, let's oops, I didn't mean to do a float. Let's get that game object list in there again. Objects to toggle. Make public. Yes. Now I also just want to add an option to destroy itself, because some objects I don't want to be re-triggered again. Destroy self. I'll make that public as well. I probably won't use it on most things. But on the thing I'm making it for right now, I do want to use it. So I'm going to leave it defaulted to false. I'm an idiot. I put all that in this same script before. I didn't save it out as a new one. Oh man, my brain is not working today. Okay, great. That's what it was doing before. Save that. I should have done save as a new script first. It's definitely taken longer to compile while I'm streaming. Oh, this dog smells. This is crazy. It's such a tiny little script. should take no time to compile. Okay. I'm going to save graph as button output toggle objects. Yeah, so I do find that UScript can be a little bit slow, but it's not normally this slow. I will add that disclaimer. Yeah, it's probably, I'd say, a little slower than just doing regular C# scripts. Okey-doke. Cool. Thanks for dropping in, Will. And I'll speak to you soon. Okay, now I'm actually ready to do the thing I wanted to do. Destroy. If destroy self is true, I will destroy the variable owner game object. Compile. How are you doing, fella? Okay, that's good to go. So my tap to start object. That's actually going to be replaced with an options icon. Make a new prefab out of that. So where was that before? Minus 100. I've got this component here which will check what platform it's running on, and it will just change the text based on that. So like if you're running on PC, it'll say press any button. If you're running on mobile, it'll say tap to start. And if you're in the embedded web player, it'll be click to start. And that's just something I set when I do a build. Press any button is a joke, of course, because well, it actually harkens back to the build that Nick was talking about earlier. There was actually only one button. It was just one like big chunky button, and it would say press any button.
but there's only one button, so that was quite funny. Now, I don't want the cycle selection on the output, and I don't want a level load. I just want to toggle button output toggle components. Wants to destroy itself, and the objects I want to toggle is the menu hierarchy there. It's going to start selected. It's going to be off by default, and then I've got like a little title sequence here which will play the animation, and it can enable that object as well. Now let's see if that works. I've got a feeling it's going to turn the high score objects off at that point. I can't remember when they get their contents set. Yeah, it toggles them. Okay. Right. So that goes in there. That'll be one. I also want to flash. I'm going to bring over this flash text component just so it blinks the tap to start. Paste as new, and that just turns a component on and off. Right here, it changes the text component, so it just toggle this component on and off like that using the timing settings I've said there. But I'm going to put that on the border as well. I think this just needs to be called renderer, and that should do this part as well. Doesn't need the hold fill. Okay, I guess renderer wasn't right. That's working, although it's not getting rid of the high scores. Okay, so I want to get, when you press it, it needs to toggle the high score object. And this is weird. I just feel like I'm talking to myself. Not because you guys aren't saying anything, but I'm just thinking out loud half the time. So tap to start needs to go total high score and high score name. Well, how did you know I said that? Okay, flash image. Okay, cool. That's working right. And then when I click, they both disappear. Cool.
Need to add a little bit of a delay before the level loads, just so it finishes filling up that bar. You also get a brief flash of press any button and then it changes to tap to start, so I'm going to actually set the text to be empty to begin with, just so you don't see it flash up for a frame and then it change. That's just because I entered it in here, but it's going to get set by this script anyway, so there's no need for it to contain text to begin with. Now that can go. And what I'm going to do right now, so I'm going to finish up at 5 o'clock in 5 minutes, and I'm just going to play the game a little bit more before then. Just play it regularly, see if I have any new thoughts on the walls closing in. And then this dog can have some food. I was trying to be funny. Didn't work. Ah. Ah, man. It keeps like missing an input, and or like I'm not sure it's done an input, and so I overcompensate, and then I end up continuing on the same direction when I think I've flipped. It's just the frame rate though, because when I'm not recording it's absolutely fine. Alright, come on. Yes. Ah. Oh, there was a shield right there. Ah, thanks. That was Martin's idea, that was. No. You get stuck between two like that. It's pretty tense. Oh, and I missed the shield. Damn it. Oh, it's so hard. Man, I can't wait to stop streaming just so I can play this game properly. Damn it. Oh, damn it. Alright. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna end the live stream. But thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I will post a link right now to where you can download the game if you want to, if you haven't already. Just one moment. It is right here. And I'm going to post this build probably either later tonight or tomorrow, first thing tomorrow. Cool, thank you for joining me. Ah, Luca's just woken up to say goodbye. So, goodbye. Where is he? Oh! That's a tired face. That's a tired face. Luca, say goodbye. Oh. Alright. Okay, bye.